And then if we look at them, they're covered in these engravings. So this is a fox.
But if everything you learned about human history was wrong, hidden beneath our feet lie objects that shouldn't exist, ancient computers more complex than anything built for the next 1,000 years, massive structures predating known civilization by millennia,
Göbekli Tepe was a game changer.
and artifacts that challenge the very foundation of historical timelines. These discoveries have left scientists speechless and rewritten textbooks. Today, we're uncovering 5 impossible finds that prove the past holds secrets far stranger than we imagined. But first, let's dive into what scientists call the world's first analog computer, discovered in the most unlikely place imaginable. Picture this. It's 1901, and Greek sponge divers are exploring a shipwreck off the coast of Antikythera Island. Among bronze statues and ancient pottery, they find what looks like a corroded lump of metal. For 2 years, this mysterious object sits ignored in a museum storage room. Then archaeologist Valerio Stais notices something extraordinary: tiny gear wheels embedded in the bronze. What they had discovered defied everything historians believed about ancient technology. The Antikythera Mechanism, dating back to 100 BCE, contained at least 30 precisely crafted bronze gears working together in perfect harmony. This wasn't just any machine. It was a sophisticated astronomical calculator that could predict the positions of planets, track lunar cycles, and even forecast eclipses with stunning accuracy. Here's what makes this discovery truly impossible. Similar mechanical complexity wouldn't appear again until medieval cathedral clocks over 1,000 years later. The Greeks had essentially created technology that was ahead of its time by an entire millennium. The gear teeth, measuring just 1 millimeter long, were carved with precision that challenges modern capabilities. But wait, there's more. In 2025, researchers using computer simulations discovered the mechanism was so advanced it would have jammed after just 4 months of use, suggesting the ancient Greeks understood mechanical engineering principles we're still studying today. Professor Tony Freeth, who has studied the mechanism for 25 years, calls it almost unbelievable in its brilliance. Yet there it sits in Athens, forcing us to question everything we thought we knew about ancient Greek capabilities. This impossible machine proves our ancestors possessed knowledge that somehow vanished from history. So if the Greeks could build computers 2,000 years ago, what other impossible technologies are hiding in plain sight? In southeastern Turkey lies a discovery so revolutionary it literally rewrote the timeline of human civilization. Göbekli Tepe, meaning Belly Hill in Turkish, was built 11,600 years ago, making it older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids, and older than agriculture itself. When German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt first saw the site in 1994, he knew he was looking at something that shouldn't exist, according to everything archaeologists believed about early humans. The site consists of massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some reaching 18 feet tall and weighing up to 50 tons each. These monuments feature intricate carvings of lions, foxes, scorpions, and vultures, created with nothing but stone tools. The precision is astounding. Recent computer modeling revealed the entire complex was designed using advanced geometry, with structures positioned according to an equilateral triangle pattern. Here's what makes Göbekli Tepe truly impossible. It was built by hunter-gatherers who supposedly lived in small nomadic groups with no permanent settlements. Yet constructing this massive complex would have required organizing at least 500 people for decades. The logistics alone should have been beyond their capabilities. But the mystery deepens. After spending centuries perfecting their creation, the builders deliberately buried the entire site under tons of dirt and stone. Why would anyone bury their greatest achievement? This discovery shattered a fundamental assumption about human development. For decades, archaeologists believed that agriculture came first, creating food surpluses that allowed people to build permanent structures and develop religion. Göbekli Tepe proves the opposite, that organized religion and monumental architecture may have driven the development of agriculture. The site contains at least 20 circles, but only 4 have been excavated. What other impossible secrets lie buried beneath the Turkish hills? And if hunter-gatherers could coordinate such massive construction projects, what does this say about the intelligence and organization of our ancient ancestors? Deep in Peru's desert lies an artistic achievement that defies every logical explanation. The Nazca Lines consist of over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric shapes, and 70 animal designs etched into the desert floor between 500 BCE and 500 CE. Some lines stretch for 30 miles in perfectly straight paths. The animal figures are massive, the largest spanning 1,200 feet across. But here's the truly impossible part. They can only be fully appreciated from the air at heights the Nazca people supposedly could never reach. Creating these geoglyphs required removing millions of reddish-brown stones to reveal the lighter sand beneath. The precision is mind-boggling. The famous hummingbird figure maintains perfect proportions despite being 300 feet long. The spider design includes accurate details that match actual arachnid anatomy. But how did the Nazca people create these massive, perfectly proportioned designs without being able to see them from above? The mathematics and surveying skills required seem impossible for a culture that existed over 1,500 years ago. The mystery deepened in 2024 when artificial intelligence helped researchers discover 303 additional geoglyphs, nearly doubling the known number. Many of these new discoveries show intricate details invisible from the ground, raising even more questions about their creation. Some theories suggest the lines served as an astronomical calendar, with certain designs aligning with solstices and star positions. Others believe they were part of water rituals in this incredibly dry region that receives less than 1 inch of rain per year. What makes this even more impossible is the preservation. In any normal climate, these lines would have been erased by weather within decades. Yet they've survived for over 1,500 years in near-perfect condition. The Nazca people left no written records explaining their purpose. Were these messages to the gods, astronomical tools, or something far more mysterious? Sometimes the most impossible discoveries aren't about ancient technology. They're about recovering knowledge thought lost forever. In 79 CE, Mount Vesuvius erupted with catastrophic force, burying the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under volcanic ash. While this tragedy destroyed thousands of lives, it also created an impossible preservation miracle. Hidden in what was likely Julius Caesar's father-in-law's villa, archaeologists discovered over 1,800 papyrus scrolls, the only complete library from the ancient world to survive intact. But there was a devastating problem. The intense heat had carbonized these precious texts into what looked like charcoal logs. For over 270 years, they remained unreadable. Any attempt to unroll them caused them to crumble into dust, taking priceless ancient knowledge with them. Then in 2023, something impossible happened. The Vesuvius Challenge offered prizes for anyone who could read these scrolls without destroying them. Using artificial intelligence and advanced X-ray scanning, researchers achieved what seemed impossible. They could finally read the ancient texts. The breakthrough came when 21-year-old Luke Ferreter, working from his dorm room, identified the first word, porphyras, meaning purple in ancient Greek. This single word sparked a revolution. By 2024, teams had decoded over 2,000 characters, revealing previously unknown works by the philosopher Philodemus discussing the nature of pleasure and happiness. But here's what makes this discovery truly extraordinary. These scrolls contain lost works that could rewrite our understanding of ancient philosophy, literature, and science. We're potentially looking at missing plays by Sophocles, lost histories by Livy, or unknown scientific treatises. The technology that made this possible didn't exist just 5 years ago. Researchers used the same techniques developed to detect gravitational waves to read 2,000-year-old ink. What other impossible knowledge awaits discovery in the remaining 1,000 unopened scrolls? Our final category of impossible discoveries challenges everything we know about technological development throughout history. Out-of-place artifacts, or OOP arts, are objects discovered in contexts that make them chronologically impossible according to conventional history. These finds suggest either our timeline is completely wrong, or ancient civilizations possessed technologies we've forgotten. In 1938, German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig discovered clay jars near Baghdad that contained copper cylinders and iron rods, essentially ancient batteries capable of generating over 1 volt of electricity. These 2,000-year-old Baghdad batteries predate the invention of electrical devices by nearly 2 millennia. Scientists have successfully replicated them, proving they actually work. Even more mysterious is the London hammer, discovered in 1936 encased in 400-million-year-old rock. The metal head shows unusual composition that doesn't match any known ancient or modern manufacturing techniques. In China's remote Bayan Karaula caves, archaeologists found hundreds of stone discs over 10,000 years old, carved with spiral grooves resembling phonograph records. When decoded, the hieroglyphics supposedly tell the story of crashed spaceships piloted by beings called the Dropa. Perhaps most intriguing are the Klerksdorp spheres found in South African mines. These perfectly round metal spheres, discovered in rock formations 2.8 billion years old, feature parallel grooves that appear artificially created. They're so perfectly balanced, they can spin freely on flat surfaces. Critics argue these artifacts result from misidentification, natural phenomena, or outright hoaxes. Yet authentic examples continue appearing in controlled archaeological excavations, challenging our assumptions about ancient capabilities. These impossible objects force us to confront uncomfortable questions. Were ancient civilizations more advanced than we believe? Did knowledge get lost and rediscovered multiple times throughout history? Or are we missing crucial pieces of humanity's technological development? Each artifact stands as a silent testimony that history might be far more complex and mysterious than our textbooks suggest. These 5 impossible discoveries prove that history is far more mysterious than we've been taught. From ancient computers to deliberately buried temples, from impossible desert art to lost libraries, each find forces us to question everything we thought we knew about our ancestors' capabilities. The past isn't a simple story of gradual progress. It's filled with advanced knowledge, mysterious purposes, and technologies that challenge our understanding. What other secrets are waiting to be discovered?